Hello there, welcome back to KsoftM. In this video, we are going to learn how to prepare a project environment to develop a CRUD API with authentication. Let's get started. In this session, I'm going to create the CRUD API with authentication. Before that, we needed a database for that, so I created the MySQL Workbench model to create the database schema. I created 3 tables: API_tokens, messages, and users. API_tokens is used to store the tokens, messages is used to store the messages, and user stores the user info with username and password. I'm going to create the relationship for these tables because the API_tokens and messages tables need the users_ID to identify the information about the table. According to your situation, you can use a many-to-many, one-to-many, or one-to-one relationship. But I'm going to use the one-to-one relationship for my purpose. For the API_token and users tables, I'm going to use the one-to-one relationship. One user can have one token. When the token expires, the token is deleted from the table. The user needs to regenerate the token. For the messages and users tables, I'm going to use the one-to-many relationship. One message can be sent by one user, and many messages can be sent by one user. This is the info about the tables with the foreign key. Everything seems fine. Now, I'm going to forward engineering to the database. These are the steps to forward engineering. Okay, the table has been successfully created. And then, I'm going to give all the database privileges to the test user to test the database. As you can see, our test user can have all the permissions for that table. Now we can create, read, update, or delete the table information through the test user. The database SQL query file is in the description below. You can use this as well to test it. For now, I'm going to create the PHP project. For that, I'm going to create a folder in the XAMPP docs directory. Open the directory in Xcode in command prompt. After the command prompt opens, use the composer init command to initiate the project with the proper information. After the dependency install, make sure the provided information is correct or not. After the correction, make sure you call the composer update through the command prompt. Now I'm going to create the basic project structure. The project is now ready for development. First, I'm going to make a connection with the database through the PDO. For that, I'm going to create the connection string. To store the database info, I'm going to create a config folder, and then create the database config file, and put the info into it. Get the database configuration info into the core DB database class and store it. And then extract the config array to get the info variables from the config array for a proper connection string. I'm using the try-catch so that we don't worry about the errors. Create a new PDO instance and store it with the connection string, username, password, and the important optional information. Create a public index file to check if the database connection was successfully created. After creating the index file, import the vendor autoload file with the correct path. create a database connection and store it in a variable to check if the connection was successfully made. Run the PHP build and development server to test the project. There are some problems in the core DB database file line 15. I'm going to try to fix it. Okay, the requirement path problem is fixed, but there is a new problem in line 30. I'm going to try to fix this as well. I think the connection string is the reason for it. Let's fix it. Okay, the problem is fixed, and it's successfully connected with the database. And that's it for this video. In the following video, we'll look at some of the basic CRUD UI design and the basic CRUD operation backend.